Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective. Second. Well, make sure we got the right mic. Yes, we got the right mic. I think so. Should be sounding clear coming through good. Happy Friday. Happy Memorial Day Friday. Tapping in on this 3-day weekend. A lot to discuss. Some noise and all sorts of stuff popping up this week. Texas, Ohio State. We're now under 100 days until kickoff. What's up, CFB picks? We chilling, we chilling. Y'all jump into the chat. Y'all know what to do when you come through here. Hit that like button. Subscribe. It's free to show love. Our goal is to get to 15,000 subscribers by August 30th. Texas versus Ohio State. That date is still August 30th. We're not leaving. We're not going anywhere. We are playing Saturday morning. I know they haven't officially announced kickoff time, but it's we're going to be there Saturday morning. And a lot of scuttlebutt about that this week. A lot of is Texas ducking the primetime smoke? So we're going to talk about that all as you guys come into the chat. Wipe your feet, hit that like button, subscribe, help us get to 15K. Bustin'. Bustin' Cider, what's up? From Belton, Squirrel King, what's going on? Hook 'em, happy Friday. So, the reports came out this week, that Texas was asked, and this is what happens when misinformation or lack of information, however you want to process this, hits the airwaves and people start running with stuff, right? And we're in the age of social media, so this is what we have to deal with, especially with two massive programs like Texas and Ohio State. But we hear that Texas, what was reported initially was Texas declined to play a night game in the prime time. When we say prime time, we're talking about night, even though big noon kickoff's idea of prime time is their time slot at big noon, right? And so this is where they get in the way. They're saying, hey, we're afraid to play at night. What's up, John? Here right on time as usual. How you doing, brother? Said the sips are for right on time and right on what you normally do. So always good to see the haters there right on time, bright and early. But saying that we were scared to play at night, right? So when we hear at night, we're assuming, did we decline to play at night on Saturday? Why would we do that? Like, well, why would we? And so then it's like, is Texas afraid to play them in a raucous environment at night? Blah blah blah. I mean, we play in the SEC now. That can't be the logical reason. We know Fox Big Noon, their time slot ideally is the noon slot, and then the rest of the information comes out, right? After some digging and people start confirming things, oh, they wanted to move the game to Sunday. They wanted to play on August 31st, which at right now, I believe Notre Dame and Miami are the only game that particular day, but that's originally scheduled for Sunday, which us being the road team, we would have a short week for the next game. And at right now, I think, yeah, we're under 100 days to the game. Shifting the date would really hurt our fan base, people that have already booked travel, people that have already made arrangements in and outside of Columbus, all sorts of, things of that sort. So, yeah, I have no problem. Once they said move it to, no, we are staying. We agreed on that date. That's the date we're going to play on. Now, I understand people saying, "Oh, well, look, you got to protect your guys too. And you want to protect your fan base." So, to me, I have no issues with Texas's decision to decline that. it doesn't make sense why we would be. We've played many night games. And I was getting ready to bring this up, Manuel. Exactly. We played at Bama when nobody had beaten Nick like that in a minute, right? So this these narratives, these talking points to galvanize people and get like we played say that a Saban team that made the playoffs, by the way. It wasn't no off year. That Bama team made the playoffs. Correct? I believe we were the last team to beat them before they ended up losing in the semifinal to Michigan. So what smoke are we running from? This is way more than smoke. This is about a whole bunch of logistics, right? And I knew that's why I waited to comment on this until we had all of the facts and all of the information from both sides. Because half truths were being planted to fire people up and say we're scared and all of this stuff. Exactly. Exactly, H post. Bro, we how many years have we bitched about the big noon time slot? How many years? On this channel as a fan base. How many years? How many years have we talked about having the big noon kickoff for Texas OU and wanting that game? We've always said the perfect balance is having it at 2, right? 2:30 kickoff, not 11 a.m. kickoff. We know we can't do night, that part of Dallas. That makes sense. But having a 2:30 kickoff, right? But that's not, and this is also where I blame the Big Ten if I'm looking at it from an Ohio State standpoint, because if I'm an Ohio State fan, of course I want that game at night too, because that's the best fan atmosphere environment for us as a home, as a fan coming there, want to have that full day of tailgating, all that, and really build up and having a raucous environment, right? Like the environment that Clemson will have for LSU when LSU goes there in that night game. That's what, as an Ohio State fan, I'm thinking. But unfortunately, you're in a conference where y'all are in bed with Fox and Big Noon, and they're going to go dollars over what's best for you. Those two things do not align. They're going to go dollars over what's best for you in regards to the game and the atmosphere that you'd like to have. The atmosphere you like to have is the atmosphere that we played in, by the way, in 2005. For those who don't remember or weren't around then, we played Ohio State at night in 2005. Yes, 3:30 Eastern time is the happy medium. And did we play at 2:30 this past season? OU? I was at a wedding, so and out of country, but I'm pretty sure we didn't play at we that game already, us being in the SEC, we played them at 2:30 and not 11, right? If I'm tripping, let me know. But I'm pretty sure this past year we had already moved that to 2:30. Yeah. So this talk and scuttlebutt in the college football space and community, calling out Texas and saying that makes no sense. Especially considering we are always advocates for getting bread. Come on now. Come on now. It's funny hearing people talk about us ducking smoke when they don't even schedule out a conference like we do. I'm hearing people that have not played. If you're still playing FCS schools in your non-con, shut the hell up. Don't talk to me about this. This is grown folks' business. Stay out of grown folks' business. If you're still scheduling bums in your non-conference, and that's all you're playing. Everybody got to play tune-up games. I get that. But if there's nobody that's a contender or a solid blue blood or whoever that is not in your non-con that you're scheduling out of conference, don't talk to me about smoke, about being scared of smoke. Knock it off. Okay? Some of y'all out here talking that ish, playing multiple FCS schools on your schedule, having baked in wins, and you want to talk. Interesting. Interesting. Right. This is what big folk. This is what grown folks do. Right. We like look. We want a heavyweight matchup. Fam, we played Alabama at Bama when we weren't even in the conference yet, fam. Come on now. We weren't even in the conference yet. Shit, we beat Bama more than anybody else in the SEC beat Bama. And Nick Saban. like, knock it off. Yeah, hey, we fired up today on this Friday. We fired up today on this Friday because people aren't. You can come for us for some stuff, but this is not the legit thing to come at us about saying we scared to play at night. We've already proven that. That has no. We have been there, done that. Okay. When you've been in back-to-back playoff games and you've won playoff games, this stuff is semantics to us. I know, folks like John Willard have never been damn near that stage. So you don't know what those type of football games look like. You don't know what that feels like. Okay. So I understand it. You're commenting on something you've never experienced like we have. But damn it, when you've played primetime games, right? Like conference championship games, like playoff games, don't talk to me about being scared of the smoke in August. And I like, come on, in August. No, we were good on that. We'll see you on August 30th, and we'll maintain our normal schedule. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And we'll play at night when y'all come to Austin in 2026. When y'all come to Austin in 2026, we'll play at night. How about that? Be a night game. Shoot, 05 and when they came to Austin 06, both those games were night games. Texas hasn't played an FCS school in like 20 years. Again, everybody plays we all play G5 schools. That's not the point. There's a difference between a G5 school and an FCS school. Let's not be naive here. Okay. There's some years that some of y'all would have got smoked by UTSA. Especially them Frank Harris years. You sure you want to have that conversation? Even when we were on the come up, we were playing people like UTSA as tune-up games, and they would have smoked some of y'all. Okay. Some of y'all getting your lunch money took by App State. Real rap. I remember that. That was supposed to be a tune-up game, right? Some of y'all would have got your lunch money took by App State. So don't talk to me about smoke. Not today. Not today. How's everybody else doing? How's everybody's Friday going? Paying a 7-figure bread to go lose to App State is crazy. That's crazy. Not I couldn't imagine my program doing something like that. David said they got their lunch money took, their milk money took, and you got to come up off them Jordans. You got to come up off them Jordans as well, bro. Couldn't be my program. Oh boy. You, oh no, it's not, John. Losing a conference game is not worse than losing to App State. Knock it off. No, it's not. You talking about Sincere McCormick, JB? He was tough. He was tough. Yeah, them UTS shit. Trey Moore was on UTSA, right? Like Trey Moore would have got a lot of schools up. UTSA would have got a lot of schools up out of there. Jeff Traylor and them. So you know, we're it's just so funny. We're at the point of arguing stuff like that when again we all play G5 schools. There's no point in arguing that we all play. You need those tune-ups. But looking back at UTSA, they had freaking players. Tariq Woolen, come on. Yep, Jacob Cowing. No, he went to he was El Paso before he went to did he go to Arizona? He's on the 49ers now though. That guy's in the league. I know what you're talking about. That kid's in the league. Y'all are hilarious. Now there's gonna be studies on what Jimbo did to that program, and just legend, a generational heist, right? Just unbelievable, guaranteed bag, generational wealth. Yeah, he went to Arizona. That kid was cold. That kid was real cold. There's a let me check my text messages because I'm waiting on something from somebody. Okay. Well, I'll hold on that one for now. I was waiting on not Frank Ocean. My wife asked me the other day. I swear to you, JV. My wife asked me the other day. She's like, "Where the hell is Frank Ocean?" Oh boy, I had sent her a Frank Ocean gift about something just vanishing. Yeah, but we've played. I mean, when you think about what we've, you know, I have no qualms or anything about scheduling when it comes to Texas because, um, you know, as we go into Ohio State thing, this is the other thing I wanted to say about the Ohio State thing, getting more back to football. That night game could get if let's say we did agree to move to the night game, right? Prime time, blah blah blah. Y'all sure you want to put Julian Sayin out there for the first time ever? That could go really bad the other way. First time ever, you're throwing a new QB out there, new coordinators, right? We haven't even unpacked that, at least on this channel yet. is the coaching changes at Ohio State. Like they don't have a proof of concept with saying like whatever they're putting out there, and I'm assuming it's saying. I know he has to win the job, the battle versus Lincoln Kleinholz, but it's going to be Julian saying. I'm just saying, you want to throw him out there in the night game. I've seen that shit go sideways. We've seen that go sideways. We've seen that go sideways. So with a new coach, I know Ryan Day. Look, Ryan Day has proven himself time after time after time. I'm not questioning the preparedness of the football team. We know the top end talent at Ohio State is unreal. They have two of the top three players in the country, I'd say, Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Smith. That's just my opinion. I think they got two of the top three players in the country. So they still got guys, okay? But that's going to be that dude's first football game. And we got new people calling the defense, calling the off. Like, I don't know. Y'all tell me. I think that could go. Like, we got continuity. Sark's still here. PK's still here. I've seen proof of concept with Arch. We've had proof of concept with our guys. Not everybody. I mean, even the guys were going to be, injuries from Cal. Those guys have played in big games. Like, I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried about Trey Wisner. The people I'm talking about have played against them in the Cotton Bowl. So to me, Texas, yes, we are on the road, but to me, we have more proof of concept with the new faces that will be coming into this next game than they do. John, how much y'all beat Notre Dame by? Y'all gonna get your revenge on Notre Dame? Don't worry about Ohio State. You worry about Notre Dame. Okay, John, you tell me. I don't want to hear Buckeyes by 30. I want to hear what are you going to do when y'all go to Notre Dame? What are you going to do? Squirrel King said, Jeremiah Smith, Emmett Smith, Stephen A. Smith, Texas at 5. Texas at 5. Whoa, 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 John, say it with your chest, buddy. Say it with your chest. Don't jump on somebody else's nuts talking about they going to skunk us, and then you over here being humble with your own team. Okay? Get off your knees. Go back to your team. Get off your knees. Leave Ohio State alone, and tell me how much are you gonna beat Notre Dame by? Where's the smoke for Notre Dame for you? Because that's what you need to be concerned with. Whoever said that, I need to go back to the Jeremiah Smith comment because I think I saw something crazy, and I'm just trying to make sure I'm reading this correct. Saying we'll have at least, and I don't know if all those. Well, I mean, we got to get active against him, but it's not just him, right? Like they're going to be bringing in some new offensive linemen, new coaches. There's a lot in play. It's around him too, right? Where there's going to be a lot of stuff that they'll try to force. Benjamin Finley, Jeremiah Smith hasn't shown me anything, to be honest. Ohio's, I can't go this far, brother. This is too much Kool-Aid for me. Jeremiah Smith is is he's cold. Okay, he's like I said, I think he's a top 3 player. Um, I know we had a very successful game plan against him. That team was so good they still beat us by 2 touchdowns. Now, granted, one of them Jack Sawyer took the other way, but we got to be honest, we lost 28-14. But Jeremiah, we got to be honest. Okay, that's like somebody over here saying that Colin Simmons or Anthony Hill isn't him. That's just crazy to me. Respectfully, I'm gonna get into this in a little bit, Drew, about the playoff seating change because I saw the what the bracket would have looked like if it was just straight seed instead of automatic placement of the conference championship winners and all that stuff. Yeah, they will. And we will be tested, right? I mean, again, we didn't one of the things I loved is we played our normal scheme. We just had more of a bracket concept against him and we beat him with team and communication. We will have some different faces there. So that's if he goes to Jalen Gilbo's side, for example, that's going to be a handful. He's going to have to have the same type of comms that Jade had last year. You know, understanding, calling out route concepts. When to go high low type stuff. Who's if they're running a type of 7 route concept, who's going to go over top to help out if it's Taff or Jelani McDonald, things of that sort. But trust me, they'll open up. They'll have end arounds, bubble screens, especially considering. Think about it this way too, right? Young quarterback, first game, big environment against probably the best pass rush they'll see all season. I'll say that right now. Probably the best pass rush they'll see all season. I imagine a lot of quick game just to get, you know, tunnel screen, bubble screen, just a lot of quick type stuff. Allen's right too, right? Because Emeka Kuba, right, was there. Enos is back. Brandon Enos, Carnell Tate had some plays. The tight end had some plays. We did over, like I said, we ran more of a bracket against Smith, so it's not going to be somebody unless we change our concept. It's not going to be somebody following a guy across the field type stuff. I mean, in the struggle with game plan against still like Alan just said, if you're putting all that attention on me and I don't get my numbers, but everybody else starts to eat, then well now we didn't get what we did limit though was the big outside of the Travion Henderson, but we didn't allow them those like Oregon game, right? That was like a pretty quick play, like a screen pass that they hit, and he like took it to the house immediately, right? So we didn't allow the just the crazy unbalanced touchdowns where we're like, holy shit, we're already cooked. Like we didn't give that up. We can't give that up. That's what got Oregon way deep in the hole quickly. They were giving up just explosives, and then on top of that, they're running counter with Judkins and Henderson, and getting the ball to them out of the backfield too. Remember, those guys were, especially Henderson, was catching the football out of the backfield. The coverage has to align with what you're doing underneath and how you're rushing too. Just FYI. There's a reason why a lot of people are playing more quarters, more shell type concepts. trying to keep things, there's a reason why a lot, not just, all these tendencies, right? So running the football will be key. Will Ohio State be able to run the football to take pressure off Sam, right? Will Texas be able to have more success against Ohio State's run game? You know what? I want to bring up the wasn't planning on doing this, but bump it. We'll do it live. I want to bring up the box score from last year. I haven't really. Give me a second, guys, because I want to actually take a look at this. Yeah, it was Carnell Tate that had 7 catches for 87 yards. And when we look at, I know what's his face talking about Chip Kelly. So that's also, man, this is a lot going on. So Brian Hartline lauded goat level wide receiver coach Brian Hartline. He's put, the amount of guys he has in the league is unrivaled right now. What he's done development wise with those guys, how he recruits, the whole bit. To my knowledge, unless they've had he's done this in the interim or before. Somebody, if you're a Ohio State fan, please, please, please chime in. But to my knowledge, August 30th will be the first time Brian Hartline has called plays. Am I wrong on that? Has he called plays before? Because he got promoted to the OC. This would be his first time calling plays, right? I'm just asking fellow fans if I'm tripping or not. I feel like August 30th is going to be the first time that man's ever called plays. That's a completely different job. And, like, it could be great because we don't know his tendencies, right? Like, he's never done it before, so you have nothing to really go on from him. But Chip Kelly was a different animal. So somebody let me know. Is this Brian Hart? Will August 30th be the first time Brian Hartline has ever called plays? Like, so you tell like, and there's no buffer of a veteran quarterback to help with that, or a buffer of a. I mean, Ryan Day has to be involved. Ryan Day's going to have to be involved. I don't see how you offload. I mean, I know Hartline's been there for a long time, all that. But if we break this down, H Post said it. This is basically PK versus Hartline, right? Now, again, you wouldn't have any tendencies to go on. To be fair, he has no tendencies. But I don't know. Big game like that. I don't know, man. I feel like Ryan Day is going to grab that headset. I don't know. I got to do some more research, but I'm pretty sure, right? And then on the other end, you'll have Sark versus Captain Pencil, Matt Patricia, which I'm cool with. Sark always tears up the former NFL guys. Go ask Wink Martindale. Go ask Wink Martindale what's good. So Matt Patricia can get this work too. He can get this work too. I don't know. Matt Patricia's just a weird football coach all around because he was like with the Eagles and then he was like doing offense. Um, but so, like when it's been former NFL coach versus a number four former NFL coach, Sark has done very well in those matchups when it comes to with the college kids. And that's going to be Matt Patricia's first game with his group calling that defense. Right? So I'm curious to see is he going to leave in a lot of what Jim Knowles was doing? Is he going to be is he going to just take the same formula? This is why I want to talk to an Ohio State person. And I'm going to continue to do the 11 Warriors website. Shout out to all those guys that cover Ohio State. They got a lot of good coverage out there. Less than 100 days away. But the thing is, these are big names. Matt Patricia's a big name. He was a former NFL head coach, Super Bowl winning defensive coordinator, Captain Pencil, showing up late for meetings as a head coach in the NFL, Matt Patricia. Um, yeah, Wink got that work last year. So, you know, they kept calling Wink the Godfather during the Michigan game. Sark had him looking like Dennis Green playing the Bears. They are we thought they were. Let him off the hook. Interesting. WTP Sports Dudes. Was that the only time he's let him call plays? Is there any other examples to look at? Because spring game, I hear what you're saying though. But is there any other examples you know of? If you have any, let me know. We got to do some. I got to do a little bit of digging. I got to do a little bit of digging on that. But it's time to unpack these new coordinators because it's not just we focus so much on, oh well, Julian Sayan's going to be in there. They're expecting Enos to take a big leap, Carnell Tate to take a big leap to help out Jeremiah Smith. We know they got the new running back, especially the CJ from West Virginia in there, who they think they're going to rock with. But they got new offensive linemen in there. We talk about we've spent hella time on this channel talking about our four new guys on the offensive line, even though some of them played a lot of football. But we got four new guys in there. But on their side, they have not only new guys, but new voices. And in one case, you have a guy who has never called plays in a real game before going against PK. Okay. Okay. Hey, the new tight end is cold at Ohio State, though. Claire, that's the kid we wanted. So I'm not going to call him. He that was the guy we were trying to take was Claire from Purdue. That's who they got. So I'm not. He's new to Ohio State, but that's a good tight end they got out of the portal. Now I'm happy we recovered and were able to get Jack injuries, but they did get Claire. So I do want to, not going to poo poo the tight end thing. They've upgraded that tight end. To me, he's way more dangerous than G. Scott was. J.S. Hooper, over, respectfully. Over. Only in the spring game. We're going to have to unpack the Brian Hartline thing. Again, goaded level position coach. No doubt about it. And like even, we had and some of these coaches are they've been waiting to get to a point to be a play caller, be at this level or to ascend. Like we knew we were going to only have Brennan Marion, for example, for a short time, now head coach at Sacramento State, putting together a crazy class at Sacramento State, by the way. Shout out to Brennan Marion. But we knew Brennan Marion was here for, short time, gonna ascend, looking for the next opportunity, blah, 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 to be a play caller. But he had been a play caller before he even took the Texas job. Remember, Brennan Marion called plays at multiple places, including my alma mater, Howard. To my knowledge, Brian Hartline has not called plays at all. Let me make sure I'm double checking that, because I don't know much of him outside of Ohio State. I feel like he's been there forever. So let me do my quick half-ass internet research, as Bill Simmons calls it. So 2023, he had an OC title in 2023. He had a co-OC title in 2024, but we know that was Chip. So who was calling plays in 2023 for Ohio State before Chip Kelly got there? Because Chip Kelly came from UCLA. I don't think he was the play caller, though. Yeah, he had the OC title. I think Ryan Day was calling the plays. Who called plays for Ohio State in 2023? Because that's no different than us having Kyle Flood as the offensive coordinator, right? Yeah, it says Ryan Day called plays. This is according to 11 Warriors. It's Ohio State site. Brian Hartline had the title of offensive coordinator, but Ryan Day called the plays. So 2025, Ohio State, who's calling the plays? Is it going to be Ryan Day? Or are they finally handing that off to Hartline? I feel like Hartline is full go now. Yeah, he's full go. Okay, so something to pay attention to. Yes, I'm not saying he's going to be. I'm saying we don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying we don't know. Like Chip Kelly, and what they did, and there was a lot of people involved. It wasn't just Chip Kelly, but like when I with the overhaul change, because Chip Kelly is an inside zone guru, and they moved away from it. They went to counter after the Michigan game. Hard reset that late in the season. But he still had to call it up. He still had to, be in rhythm as a play caller for those playoff games. And he did a fantastic job. Chip Kelly did. But there was a lot of people involved behind the scenes from what I've read, from what I've heard, um, that emphasized that change from going from inside zone to counter. Yeah, there's a lot of question marks here. People love to ask questions about Arch. Again, at least I've seen him prove a concept. I know who. It's going to be the same person in Arch's headset. I Yeah. To me, I'll believe it when I see it. I'm kind of with Allen here. I feel like Brian Day gonna be calling the plays. I'm kind of with Allen here. I know what they're saying. I know what's being reported. It's Heartline, but mm, I wanted to go back to a comment that David made about Heartline because it was a good one. It was a good comment that he made. Where is it? Yeah, here we go. This. If I'm an Ohio State fan, this will be my concern. David hit on the head. For a position coach that was receiver focused, I think it will be interesting to see how much emphasis he places on running the football, especially without two very productive running backs to turn pro. These are good. These are questions, right? Just the same way people ask the questions about, oh, Texas, how's Texas going to do with four new offensive linemen? How's Texas going to do with, because I was going to also address Aaron Murray's comments about Arch and him not beating out Quinn Ewers. Why didn't he take the job from a seventh round pick? All of a sudden, people want to be real dense about that situation. Not one person thought Quinn was a seventh round pick at that point in the season last year. Stop it. Stop it. And then dude acted like we underperformed, talking about, Quinn held them back and didn't maximize blah blah blah. Well, we will never know. But what I do know is in the same video, Aaron Murray said the three best rosters are Georgia, Texas, and Ohio State. Those are the only two teams we lost to, brother. The team that knocked us out was the team that you named first that had the best roster. So how did we underperform with Quinn? Well, that's where we ended up. Like if you're saying we held them back, we had to play Ohio because Ohio State came in as the freaking eighth seed. We had to play them before the national championship. So I don't understand Aaron Murray's reasoning of saying we got to the semifinals back to back years, whether or not you like Quinn or not. That was our end point. But you're saying we underperformed, but we only lost you said the three best rosters in the same video were Ohio State, Georgia, and Texas. Those are the only two teams we lost to. And the other one's us. So where's the underperformance? Who did we lose to that we weren't supposed to lose to with Quinn in the last 2 years? Who like it's not like he was smoking games to bums. We had some tight games. We had some games where it's like, what the hell's going on? But we weren't smoking games. Dude was rapping like we went 8-5. Like I did not understand his logic. And then on the Arch point regarding the seventh round pick stuff, dude, that stock dropped after the season, brother. That stock dropped way after the season. You know that, Aaron. After the Michigan game, they were talking about this man being a top 10 pick. Am I tripping? Was I the only one around that saw that? These experts, these people that all they do for a living is cover the draft. Quinn's stock dropped way after the season. It had nothing to do in season. And if you watch the Todd McShay film video, because Todd McShay is the one actually crunching the film and showing tape right now, he also showed, hey, Arch wasn't ready at that time yet. And he needed more reps. When it came to the intangible stuff and setting protections and all this type of stuff. Like, let people progress on their own time. Let's not do that. There are a lot of examples in college football. I know somebody just mentioned Justin Fields not playing over what's his name? Justin Fields not playing over Jake Fromm. The other one was there's like I think he wanted it. I think he wanted it to be a Trevor Lawrence and Kelly Bryant type thing. I feel like that's what he wanted, but like that's not always the like that's a one-on-one situation, and like Trevor Lawrence was just that was a perfect scenario for them. On top of the schedule, really worked out for Clemson in that case because if y'all remember, after Clemson played A&M, the ACC was very weak that year. Trevor Lawrence got a whole season to ramp up before he got to the playoffs. Like it wasn't. I don't know if it goes the same way if they're playing an SEC schedule that year. But when they got into the playoffs and he was tuned up, yeah, he was awesome. But I think that's what he was thinking that Arch was supposed to do. But I mean, come on, come on. What was the other dude? The I remember freaking Mitch Trubisky went second in the draft, but he couldn't beat out the Williams kid that was playing ahead of him for 2-3 years, and Trubisky still went second like at North Carolina. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not. I like Aaron Murray. I just disagree with what he was saying, and it really didn't make sense when he tried to attach on this weird argument that, like, to me that's revisionist history almost. Like nobody was saying it'd be different if Quinn was regarded like Stetson Bennett was regarded, where it's like he's a low level like the way people were talking about Stetson Bennett at the time, even though Stetson Bennett that last year at Georgia balled out. He was no bus driver that last Georgia natty. Stetson Bennett was balling, but not one person. It'd be different if at the time it was like obvious, like Major Applewhite was an undrafted player and Chris Sims was the number one recruit in the country, right? Like, and no one at that time was like Major Applewhite's going to get drafted. That was not the case, and this was a case of two different players that were 5-star all world recruits. And after the Michigan game, Quinn was being lauded as going top 10. His even after the season ended even with the injuries, the underwhelming performance on tape, all that. What was the floor for him? Third round, second round, third round. No, not I never heard if I didn't hear one person ever say seventh round. No. Not at that time. Not at that time. That's the whole reason why it was so shocking what happened in the draft. And also let's consider another thing. The NFL's evaluation and how they're drafting quarterbacks changed dramatically this cycle. Because it wasn't just Quinn. They have decided if they're not drafting a starter in the first round, they're going to wait for their guy all the way in the back end. Call it the Brock Purdy era. We'll just wait because one of these dudes can pop and we'll draft him in the 6th or 7th round. Because that's what San Francisco did with Brock Purdy. So now that's what people are going to do with either developmental quarterbacks or people they view as backup quarterbacks. They're not going to take them in the first. They're not going to take them in the first and second round anymore. They don't want to end up like Tennessee did with Will Levis. It's cheaper. So you got to reevaluate. Like just throwing out, well, he was sitting behind a 7th round pick. He was sitting behind the second team All SEC quarterback. That's who he was sitting behind. Because that same 7th round pick was the second team SEC quarterback, correct? So that means the rest of the conference ass? Is that what you're saying, Aaron Murray? I didn't see Carson Beck all SEC. The only person that was ahead of Quinn was Jackson Dart, who was a 1st round pick. And Quinn missed time. Quinn missed time and was still second team All SEC. So let's keep it on the field. That's who Arch was sitting behind. And then when Arch played the little minimal time he played, he had 13 touchdowns in the little bit of time he played, passing and rushing. DJ Lagway played damn near a whole season, didn't even have that many touchdowns. What are we talking about? He was sitting behind a second team All SEC quarterback. That's not a bad thing. I don't know. It just that didn't sit well with me. But I'm a because like now like Shador won. Didn't Shador won the Unitas Award? He was a fifth round but he was a fifth round pick. Is that what we're doing? So we're just gonna ignore all the awards and accolades, all the stuff. Shador was all Big 12 quarterback, all this stuff. Won the Unitas Award. He was literally like the best passer in the country. Oh, the award for that he won for, but because he's a fifth rounder, that's like, oh well, you were sitting behind a like you're implying he was a bum. You're implying Quinn was a bum. Then that speaks volumes to the rest of the SEC. That same bum was the second team quarterback. That speaks volumes to the conference. What was how come Marcel Reed or Garrett Nussmeyer or any of these other guys didn't get those accolades? Led the conference in passing touchdowns while missing time. That's crazy. Like, I'm not saying he has to gas up Arch or anything. I'm just saying that the logic of how he's getting to saying or discrediting Arch that's not the path to go. That's not the path to go. Honestly, I'd rather you use the film and say you're seeing something as a former quarterback on film. Again, I like Aaron Murray. I don't have any problems with him. I just have a problem with the take. Anyway, I have a date night that I need to get ready for. Taking my wife out to dinner and a comedy show. I will be back for Sunday service, and we will talk more ball. And and by then I should know who the guest is for Tuesday. I'm not traveling this week, so be able to have a normal schedule Tuesday guest. Make sure you hit the like button, share with a friend. We are under 100 days away, so I'm going to need a Herculean effort from everybody that supports the channel. But we're trying to get to 15,000 subscribers August 30th. And there's a lot of people that watch our show that aren't subscribed. So help me out. I don't ask for much. It's free to show love. I don't ask for bread or nothing like that. If you send donations, I appreciate it, but I don't ask for it. I just ask for the sub and to help this platform grow, and just try to keep it, Can we have a follow? Hey, hit me up. If you want to be a guest, thank you, David. I know David, you've been here for years, brother. I appreciate you. If you want to be a guest, you have a good camera, you want to talk, I got to screen you. But I would love to. Look, this is Fanatic Perspective. It's run by fans. I also want to bring people on that y'all will get value from, and some people that or people I have good chemistry with that will make a good show. But I would love to have people on. So I know we can do it. You guys have helped me out so much, and just grateful for everything that we've been able to do. So Mark, hit me up. All hands on deck. Remember, horns always up. Hook 'em.